Greetings and welcome to another LGR Cities Skylines pack review thing, and this time around it's Campus, the 8th expansion pack for Cities Skylines. And despite when I'm uploading this, it was in fact released back on May 21st, 2019 for the PC version of the game at least, at a retail price of $12.99. Though it's worth noting that I didn't pay for that because Paradox just emailed me a review code some time ago, and it's like, oh, okay. No stipulations or expectations attached, just a review code, so here I am, reviewing it. And yes, it took me a little longer than I'd initially hoped, due to a few things. Mainly an unexpected week-long trip, but also because, I gotta be honest, it didn't excite me very much. I mean, I like the idea of an educational expansion for this particular game, and I don't hate it or anything at all. It's a fine pack, but after looking at the feature list and seeing the trailers and just kind of reading about how it works, it feels a lot like deja vu. Like I've already covered this pack, and the biggest reason for that is because this is the third time that they've used the whole paintable districts idea, first seen in the Park Life pack, and more recently seen in the Industries pack. And just as an aside, I find it personally amusing that Skylines gets a university pack before The Sims 4 does, but I digress, that's another topic entirely I'm sure we'll address in the future. So yeah, just like Park Life and Industries, Campus is not a pack that really overhauls the game, so to speak, but rather adds an additional couple layers of complexity and micromanagement. And as you would expect, that mostly takes the form of educational institutions, colleges and universities and libraries and all that kind of stuff. So that means you no longer have to rely only on generic zones or buildings for your educational needs. Now you lay down campus districts, either on their own or overlapping other areas that you already have. Same exact way that you did with parks and industrial districts in the past couple packs. And each of these educational districts will come with their own individual policies and specializations and can be leveled up through 5 levels. In other words, yeah, like I've been saying, it's Park Life and Industries all over again with a fresh educational skin. And you know what? I get it. I've praised those 2 packs, and this one is worthy of praise as well. I mean, Colossal Order has a solid enough framework here, so why not maximize the potential? But that's just the broad overview, so let's go over a few specifics of what exactly you get in campus areas, and that starts with the placing down of the areas themselves, just painting it on top of the map wherever you like, and then choosing a specialization with any one of 3 types of campuses: a trade school, a liberal arts college, or a university. Each one with their own visual aesthetic, and each of these 3 also have 3 unique faculties, with the trade school offering the Police Academy, the School of Tourism and Travel, and the School of Engineering. Then the liberal arts college faculties being the School of Education, the School of Environment Studies, and the School of Economics. And lastly, the university faculties being the School of Law, School of Medicine, and School of Science. Now, as for playing and earning all these items, it's the same basic process as the last 2 packs. You place an administration building somewhere within your district, and you place down some level 1 buildings and slowly start gaining reputation and students. And you customize your policies and choose whether or not to charge any tuition, and eventually you level up so you can unlock even more stuff up to the prestigious level 5. The one thing that is different here is that campuses can actually lose reputation and level down if you don't meet and maintain the requirements for your specific level of each zone, adding some incentive to keep checking in on things instead of maxing everything out in short order and letting it exist in the background for eternity like you could with Park Life and Industries to a degree. And on top of that, these educational areas are not evaluated in the same way either. Campuses function on an academic year, and that is 40 weeks long, with a trio of requirements to balance, meet, and maintain, and yeah, that definitely adds a bit more complexity to the whole situation. I like that. And of course, all of this serves the expected overarching purpose of increasing the attractiveness of your cities overall, as well as bringing in exchange students, which is this pack's version of tourists. And they work alongside the existing tourism feature and actually show up in the same menu, but these people will of course pile into your campuses instead of tourist traps. I mean, they might do that too, but mostly campuses. And it doesn't stop there, you also have varsity sports that have been added to this pack. You got basketball and baseball, swimming, track and field, and American football. And there's another layer of customization for these varsity sports teams as well. You can change around the mascots and the jerseys and the ticket prices and the color and the coaches and add things like cheerleading budgets and all sorts of stuff just to try and get as many people as possible to come to your cities just to watch these sports teams. Of course, there are also a host of new policies of things that are citywide and applied just to individual areas. So you can apply ordinances for things like free food for students and book fairs in the city, and you can sponsor academic works. Now that last one's kind of interesting. The academic works, they're the end product of research, and this happens every single academic year. And depending on how much, really just money, that you put into it, the outcome is affected, and you can provide things like tax dollars and signing research grants and hiring staff and adding certain campus buildings to increase the odds of this happening. But once you do, you get some cool one-off works that you can display and, show off and make people like your city even better and put them in the new museums, for instance, which can be built either inside or outside campuses, though they are unlocked by maxing out each type of campus. There are also academic libraries and public libraries, the latter of which added in a free patch that launched with campus. Not just libraries, there's also bus customization and classic yellow school buses. Citizens now have job titles, they've rebalanced the education system overall citywide, and there's also a super useful policy called Industry 4.0. And this is something that really could have been awesome to have in the industries pack, but it's here now, so whatever. And this actually takes normal citywide zoned industry into the future with automation, making use of highly skilled workers in addition to the lesser skilled folks that were normally working in the normal zones. And of course, there's some other miscellaneous things like new radio stations and some other little policies and buildings and such that are unique to each individual type of campus, but it all serves the same basic purpose. That is really diving into the nitty-gritty of making your city work for you in the way that you want, with the type of resources that you want. And you gotta be into this type of thing, just like with the last couple packs. And again, I want to say that this is not a bad pack. I like campus about the same as Park Life and Industries. It's just that after 3 of these packs that follow the same kind of formula, it's starting to feel like treading water to me. Just a bit. It's not stale yet. It's one of those things I start to get a little concerned about in the back of my mind, and that's all. I fully admit that's just my own experiences talking, reviewing all these simulation game expansions over the years, but as it is now, this is another thoroughly decent pack that adds some interesting stuff to Cities Skylines, making an already highly enjoyable game even more enjoyable for a pretty decent price indeed. But I still hope that Colossal Order shakes things up a little bit more for pack number 9, whenever that arrives and whatever that may be. And if you enjoyed this look at this Cities Skylines pack, then cool. I've covered a bunch of them, well, all of them, in the past, and I'll continue to cover them in the future, so stick around if you'd like, or check out some of the other LGR things that I do every week. And as always, thank you very much for watching.